Last night, Battlefield 6 reached more than 500,000 online players just on Steam, and with consoles on top of that, I would assume we would have at least 1 million players playing last night. Currently, Battlefield 6 Beta is the most popular beta for a Battlefield game to ever be released, and the game sits on the 18th spot on the most played games list ever on Steam. 2 spots down that same list sits Call of Duty, with its highest online numbers being 491,000 players. A few days ago, anonymous sources from Activision stated that the leadership has been taking notes of Battlefield 6's recent hype, but it's not worried that the franchise will surpass Call of Duty. They also stated that Activision leadership believes that Call of Duty is too big to fail and will remain a profitable, annually released franchise for many years to come. And even though I have to agree with the statement that Call of Duty might be too big to fail, since it has been the most popular FPS game for the past 2 decades or so, I think that Battlefield 6 seems to have the momentum needed to at least take a big chunk of Call of Duty's player base and have a noticeable impact on Call of Duty's revenue. Obviously, that's not only because of how good Battlefield 6 seems to be, but also how bad Activision has been handling Call of Duty for the past 3 to 4 years. Battlefield 6 Open Beta seems to be hitting all the right spots. Obviously, this is a beta, and there are some issues with the game, but most of them seem to be minor and could be fixed with just a couple of simple updates that could be either released before the game launches or even after. What's most important, however, and I think DICE is very pleased to see, is how they have managed to attract Call of Duty players without having to jeopardize the authenticity of what makes Battlefield feel like Battlefield. According to Reddit, of course, Battlefield 6 doesn't feel like a Battlefield game, and it plays totally like a Call of Duty one. However, according to the same people, Battlefield 3 also didn't feel like a Battlefield game, and it played like a Call of Duty one. And then 15 years later, here we are saying that a lot of people, actually a big portion of the Battlefield community, seems to believe that Battlefield 3 is literally the definition of a Battlefield game. With every new game release, there will always be a percentage of the player base that just ignores the basic need for video games to adapt and to evolve to the new trends and wants of the market. The actual target audience for video games are not 30 and 35-year-old men who want the game to be exactly like the previous one. I'm 27. I would wish that Battlefield 6 was a Battlefield 3 remaster because I absolutely love that game and I think it's the best Battlefield game to ever be released. However, I understand that that's not profitable neither for DICE or EA, and probably it's not the best for the player base itself. Battlefield 3 is online. Anyone who wants to play it can go there and play it. Guess what? I'm not even playing Battlefield 3. I think what a lot of people have confused in their heads, and I think that the same applies to me, is we think that we love a game so much that we used to play 10-15 years ago, when in reality it wasn't really about the game that we were playing, it was more about our life back then. When I was playing Battlefield 3, I was 14, 15 years old, somewhere around there. I had no personal problems, no stress, no issues in my life, nothing to literally make me worry about my existence. On top of that, I was playing a game and I was able to enjoy it so much. Now, if I go and play Battlefield 3, it won't feel the same because I'm not the same person. And I think a lot of us don't really miss the games that much. We miss how we felt back then. We miss our younger selves. I might be wrong here, but I found myself talking with my friends and pretty much we all come to the same conclusion that it wasn't so much about the games we were playing back then, but it was about our lives back then. We were younger, we didn't have issues to worry about, we didn't have jobs, we didn't have stress, we didn't have clients busting our balls all day, we didn't have a mortgage on our house, we didn't have responsibilities at all. We were just teenagers playing video games. With that being said, Battlefield 6 is very close to achieving something unique, and that's maintaining the Battlefield core of what makes Battlefield games feel and play like Battlefield, because we have seen Battlefield moments in Battlefield 6. The game feels and plays great. Is it identical to previous Battlefield games? Obviously it's not. However, it's a very good and fun to play video game which feels for the most part like a Battlefield one, while at the same time it's adapting and evolving to today's needs of the gaming community, and that's why it seems to be able to attract Call of Duty players as well. Battlefield community seems to think that anything that comes from Call of Duty is instantly a big no-no, and even though in some cases that can be true, I don't think that Battlefield has absolutely nothing to take from Call of Duty. I think Battlefield could borrow some stuff from Call of Duty and it could be improved because of that. But if you try to say that to, some Battlefield communities, you will be hanged the next day. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments, guys, what do you think of Battlefield 6's open beta till now? Are you enjoying the game? Do you think that it's turning into Call of Duty too much? Do you think that it's fine? Let me know. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye bye.